let me share with you my...
Are we able to record any of this?
Oh yeah, we could record it actually, couldn't we? I can
I
do
think
that.
it does sound like it's really going to be useful. So I think
Hope so. You'll probably go, yeah, we do all of that. Not a problem. Okay.
Recording in progress.
So let's just do this onboarding. And I want to do slideshow and play from the start. Okay, so I started in my last business and I very much was thinking about how do I scale? How do I build for scale? Because my previous experiences had been that I'd got to say 20 or 30 people in the past and then kind of fallen over because the amount of stuff that was coming at me, the amount of people I was dealing with, I didn't have proper processes in place. And it really meant that I wasn't able to continue doing the work that I needed to do to build my business. What I was doing was I was spending all my time supporting people and all my time answering questions and helping people, which then meant that it took my eye off the ball and my time away from my own personal recruitment and my own personal developing new people and finding new people. So this time round with my previous business, I decided to take a leaf out of Stephen Covey's book, and which says begin with the end in mind. And my end in mind was that I wanted to start my business with 1,000 people. How would that be possible? Because it's so easy when you're starting to build, but you don't foresee what your business is going to be like when you've got 1,000 people, 5,000 people, and doing the thinking and going through what is my partner journey, what is my customer journey, what does that look like, was something that I spent quite a bit of time on. So I put together this sort of partner onboarding process, and I've just kind of tweaked it for Truly. There's still things that could be added in. And the whole purpose of this is for you to really think about what is your framework? What is your partner journey? Because they're part of your business. You are the CEO of your business. And what does it look like for somebody joining your business? One, how can you make it the smoothest enrollment and onboarding process possible for people, but also making it duplicatable, because you want to then work with your new partners. So we're enrolling 3 new partners each and every month. You want to leverage that time and you want to make sure that you're giving them a framework, which is very, very simple steps that you know that without you and with doing these steps, they can still go ahead and build their businesses successfully. I'm very, very much a person that uses leverage of time. So whenever I'm doing one thing, I'm always thinking, how could I be doing this with other people? We have a great opportunity now of being able to share videos and recordings. However, I don't think that cuts it personally when we're dealing with new people. And that investment in our new people and getting our new partners up and running in the correct way will pay you back in spades, and they will do the same with their people. So for me, it's very much a monkey see, monkey do. Whatever you do, whatever you train will be that person's experience of the business. So I put together my first thing, which is a welcome letter. And this is something that you can do initially as the head of your business. It could be done from Derek to everyone, or it could be done from Derek to a whole load of people and Elaine to your people. However, and Coleman could be done from Coleman. You can tweak it. But what I wanted to achieve in this is starting people off in the very right way. First of all, it's a congratulations and a welcome to our family. And you can find the words, and this is where your Now site, if you're using Now site, will be able to help you as well. So your account is ready, it's open. What we need to do is make sure that you've registered and that you've got your password. I used to set up a lot of people myself because it was an easier thing to do. And I would always create an account using password 1, tell them it's password 1, and then they can change it. Or I would recommend they do something like that, because the number of people who came back to me and said, I've forgotten my password, was a bit worrying. So however you want to do it. It's going to be the start of a wonderful new journey. I'm really excited to support you in any way I can. As part of your induction, we host on a Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock our corporate update meeting. And I've just put this in for an example. On Thursday evenings at 7 p.m, we do a basic guide to hydration for your education. So those two things, plugging people into those two things each and every week, is part of their induction and ongoing journey with us. That might be something that you do, a hydration talk as part of your team each and every week, and that you plug into, or it could be something that you want me to do, and I'm very happy to do that. And when you're doing a hydration talk and you're asking people to come along, you ask that person that has invited them along and any other prospects as well. So you're always using that 1 or 2 hydration talks each and every week as an education slot, as a prospecting tool, but more importantly, also as a training session for the people, your new emerging partners, because what we want them to do in time is to do their own hydration talks with their own testimonials, with their own teams. So we're leveraging our time always. Come along and find out more about the True Hydration, Natural Glow and True Sports, how they work. I think for me, it's quite important to distinguish those 3 products, because we may well have people that are only interested in Natural Glow because they're part of the beauty world and that's their thing. There may be people that are only interested in the sports, and there may be people that like the True Hydration. And I think it's giving people that within our collection, there's 3 very distinct channels that they can go down, and they will need different education and different information about each of those 3. Now, where we have 3 products, what I would recommend for people that are coming in initially is they go with what they've chosen. That's what they want to talk about, because that's their journey. You can add in the others later on if they want to. It's keeping it really simple to begin with, and really simple steps. So, of course, we want them to understand the well-being and understand how these products work. But more importantly, every time you're inviting that new partner to something, you invite them to bring along other people that might be interested. So you're leveraging that time. And also what you're doing is you're showing that new partner how simple and easy it is. All they've got to do is invite people. They don't need to know anything. They don't need to know anything about the company. They don't need to know anything more about the products, because you're inviting them to an education where they're going to learn all of this. I would then like to invite our new customers to come to our customer WhatsApp group that you may or may not have set up, and our customer and partner Facebook groups. So we want our new partners to engage with us with our new Truly Collection Facebook group. So you want to give them the link for that. You want to give them the link for the Telegram group as well, so they're being informed, they're part of the family. And also encourage them to go into our customer group and invite all their family and friends and all their connections to that Truly customer group. The key thing about that is the customer group is also a great prospecting tool, because they're going to be hearing information about hydration, about success stories, which is going to help that new partner to engage many people very quickly with the company, with the product, and really help them to try and get some more people interested without them doing all the work. Again, it's leveraging their time and letting us help them to get off to a flying start. Then talking about being excited for them receiving their products and looking forward to our forthcoming call. So when I enroll someone, I would be booking in 2 definite calls that are going to be one on the product, which is going to be around the time that product, the cans arrive and they start the process, and 2, another call to talk about the business and launching their business. In the meantime, because we know there's going to be a time delay, they've ordered their product, it might be up to a week for them to come to get their products. I've given them some links to the Truly collection, to the Billions in Change, to understanding the importance of hydration, the income plan explained, and a deep dive into NowSite. So they've got all of those resources, and we're plugging them into the Tuesday evening call and a hydration call as well. So this is giving them all this education, all this information, a route map to success before they've even got their products, and they know what's going to happen. So the next thing for me is the partner process, and I've kind of broken this down into areas that make sense to me. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is enrolling the partner. And I very much believe that if it is a new partner who's genuinely wanting to build this business, you enroll that partner on Zoom together, because that is part of your training process. You are training them and building that and developing that relationship with them. You're training them how to go out and enroll someone from day one. So if they leave you that day and go and talk to someone, they know how to enroll someone before they even get their products. And I think that's really, really important. On that enrollment call, this is when I would be booking in the 2 one-to-ones at that time. And you may do this individually, or you may do this as a team. What I did initially with my team is I set up 2 calls a week that I would invite everyone, and my team leaders would invite their people into, because I would do those calls with 3 or 4 or 10 people who had just joined that week. So I would be saying, we have our product call on a Wednesday at 10 o'clock or whenever you're going to do it. And you invite everyone as part of your team, new people to the team, to that call each and every week. And then you set up a second call, which is then the business product launch. So while you're doing that for multiple people, rather than doing that. If I've got 10 people in my team in a week that are joining and I'm trying to do that individually 10 times, that's not a good use of your time. So that might be something that somebody in the team wants to take responsibility for while everybody is growing and learning, or it might be something that people are happy to do themselves. Either way, as the head of your team and the founders in this business, I would be taking responsibility for this, because you're using these calls as a training opportunity for your new leaders. So even though they may go off and do other things and say other things than the things you do and say, they have the framework of this is what will help them and this is what will make them successful. I would then send out a confirmation of those one-to-ones. They are booked, they're in the diary, and I would send out a WhatsApp confirmation. I think WhatsApp is much better than email, but it's entirely up to you how you want to do that. I would then send out again the invitation and the link to the corporate update meeting, because you want them to feel that you're working side by side, which you are. You want them to feel that you're going to be on that call, because it can be scary sometimes rocking up on a Zoom call and you don't know anyone. So you're going to be there. You want them to be there. So your whole training for your team is, if you are a partner in my business, this is my expectation of you. And this very quickly sorts out people who are, well, I'm a bit busy on a Tuesday, or I can never do that, or I can't do this, or I can't do that. That would be setting up red flags for me. If you want to build a business and you want to build a business in this team, this is how we do it. As if you joined any job in any company, they would have an onboarding process. This is how we work in this organization. And this is no different at all. So also invite to join the Telegram group, where they're going to find lots of resources as well, because you want them to have different people and different messages. So the corporate messages and the corporate messaging, you also want them to connect with other partners in our partners Facebook group. So they're getting other testimonials, other ideas from other people. So they are also finding people that are going to give them that sense of being part of our family, part of our community, and also more information. And we want to invite them to a hydration talk. And again, I would recommend, as a team, you're doing at least one hydration talk a week that people can be invited to. And I would be saying, you know, come to as many as you want to. Please feel free to invite your friends, family, because this is the very first prospecting tool that you can use for your new people. Because right now you don't know what you don't know, but you don't want that to slow your business up. So why not learn with the people that you want to bring into this business? And that is a great opportunity. And you can come to the talk each and every week and bring your people each and every week. Which I would totally recommend. So this is going to help people to naturally get people enrolled on their subscriptions without actually them doing too much. And that gives confidence. That starts to let them see that they're going to get some money in their pocket. And all of this could happen before they've even received their cans. So I think that's really exciting. The next, because what we don't want to happen is they sign up, we're waiting for their cans to come, then we leave them to sample for a month, by which point they're way down the line and they're totally turned off. They haven't earned any money and nothing's happened. So we want to strike while the iron's hot, get them up and running and on the program. So the first call is then around the time that they are expecting to receive their product. So we want to welcome them to the Truly collection. We want to check their understanding of how they're going to use the products themselves. And this is a great way of being able to talk to them about our sampling program. And our sampling program is very clear. What we want them to do in the first week is we want them to be having 2 cans a day. One in the morning, one in the evening, afternoon, evening, or however they want to have them. And we want to check that they're going to be okay to do that and that they're going to commit to that. Because unless we get people set up sampling properly, they won't do that with their customers and they won't do that with their partners. So they're going to have the cans twice a day, and we're going to book in another quick check-in for after the first week, just to see what they've noticed, if they've noticed any changes, and more importantly, if they haven't noticed any changes. And I would be saying this right up front, for some people it takes up to a month before they start seeing changes, and for some people it's changes that they don't even realize. And I would give a few testimonials. So we had that great thing about Pete Rea talking on the meeting the other day, saying he'd had a can when he was doing a long drive, and actually he was really alert and has not had that before. And that's not something anybody else has mentioned, so it's not something we would have thought of. So I would give a few examples of where people have found and noticed different things at different times, and also ask them to look out for those things and to let you know if they've experienced anything, because you want them to come to you excited and they flipping out, I've just slept through the night, or I've just done this, or I've just done that, because that also builds excitement and that helps other people too. So then we're checking in week 1. Have they noticed anything? Have they not? If not, we go on for week 2 and make sure that they're totally comfortable with the fact that this is absolutely normal. And that's why we do the sampling program that we do. So on the product side, we want to then keep talking to them about their sampling, making sure that they are sampling and that they're using their cans each and every day. When we are in this process as well, and this is why sometimes it's good to do this as a team of people. If you've got 2 or 3 people and you're getting back on the call at the end of the week and say, right, what have you noticed? If somebody's noticed things and somebody else hasn't, it's very reassuring for that person that hasn't. And it really helps you to have different testimonials and different experiences that are being shared rather than the pressure all being on you. Then I would be booking in, I would have already have booked in my second one-to-one, which would be that week as well. And this is my business building call. And I would already have set up all of the things that we've talked about in terms of them coming to the events that we have. And now this is where I would be then talking about going through the website with them, showing them where things are. More importantly than anything else, the one thing you want to nail with them at this call is that they know how to enroll other people and how to explain that to people. So they can be independent going off and enrolling other people. I think the real crux also of this call is to discuss with them launching their business. Because anyone who sets up a new business needs to have some kind of focal point to say, I'm in business, I've started a business. It's the most time-effective, cost-effective way of launching their business, and it leverages their time massively. I would be discussing the income plan, but I would only discuss the income plan in terms of the Healthy Start 1 and 2. And I would be talking about the whole crux of the first month is that we want to get 3 people minimum enrolled in that first month. I would organise 2 launch events to give people choice. Now, whether people want to do an in-person one or they want to do an online one, I would always recommend anyone doing an in-person one is they do it as a hybrid. They do it online as well as in person. And I've had a lot of success doing these kinds of events in the past where I'm on Zoom, I'm doing the talk, the people are in the room, they're talking about their experiences, it's very interactive, they're sampling the product, they're talking about any kind of health issues that they might want to look at this for. We're giving them education on the hydration, and we're also talking to people about the potential for the business as well, if people are there for the business. If somebody wants to do a purely online event, that's absolutely fine as well. So you as the sponsor, the upline, would offer to do that event for them. If you're thinking, oh, I don't want to do that just yet, I don't know enough, that's not a problem, because you can go to your upline's upline and you can also come to me as well, because I'd be more than delighted to do that for you, because that is a training opportunity for you and your team. And if you're a leader and you have other partners in the business that are not involved in this launch, I would also invite them along as a training opportunity. And I would invite them to invite people along as well, because then they are in a situation where they're listening in to that partner's talk and they are learning and they are empowering other people to be getting their subscriptions too. So if you think about it, if you've got a new person, I'm enrolling Elaine and Elaine's coming along and we're doing her launch party. I'm going to say to Derek and to Coleman and to everyone else, I've got a launch party next Tuesday. Please come. Please bring your partners. Please invite your partners to come along as well. They will be on Zoom. so they can come and watch, and I will set up with Elaine that we're going to have some other partners come and just watch. Now, if, for example, Derek brought along 2 people and both of those 2 people then ended up going, yeah, I want a subscription too, what a great use of your time. What a great leverage that would be for everyone, and how exciting for the team as a whole to be able to do that. So always thinking about leverage. When you're looking at doing these things, I would be setting up, aiming to have a minimum of 30 people at 2 events, because I always work on the 1-in-10 ratio, and the 1-in-10 ratio works. I've got 30 people at those events. The likelihood is I'm going to get, on the first instance, 3 people who are going to join me on a 6-pack subscription. I may well get other people that want to do a tray or a 3-pack, but the goal is to be getting 3 people on the 6-pack subscription. And if you've done 2 events and you've had 30 people at your first 2 events in your first week, and you've got 3 people that want to go on subscription, how excited is that new partner going to be? And also for you, how exciting for you, because you're learning, you're training, and you're also bringing in other partners that may also get other people that want to go on to subscription as well. This means that in their first month, they've got their own products paid for. So that 6-pack subscription has cost them nothing because they've earned that back. And that for me is always the cornerstone of this business, is that it doesn't cost you anything to run it. Because once you nail that, then you're into making money. And that is month 2, month 3, and so it goes. And all we want to do is duplicate and replicate this process with other people. So then we want to talk about the income plan, as I've said, and I would keep it very simple. I would be talking about the healthy start in month 1, and I would be saying to people, this is something that we are going to continuously review and continuously come back to. We're looking at already putting together what people need to do, 1, to get their products paid for, which I've just shown you how you can do that in your first month. Then we're going to look at doing a plan, another journey as to what do you need to do to earn 250 each and every month, what do you need to do to earn 500 every month, and what do you need to do to earn 1,000 every month. And then we can use multipliers of that when we're talking about it. So instead of getting into generations and you need this and you need that, what we'll be building is a route map, a plan, a partner journey where you can just go, right, what do I need to do next? Right, I need to get 5 people, or I need to get those 3 people to do this, and I need this amount of volume. And then you're starting to work towards, what does that look like? How am I going to achieve that? And more importantly, what support do you need? Because there's so much support on hand. There really is lots and lots of support on hand, and you need to ask for that. So moving on, because we want to have ongoing help and support with partners. Now, again, this can be something that you can do as a team. So you're putting all your new partners into a group where they're sharing and they're learning at the same level at the same time. And over time, what I did was I built up different partner groups. So I had people who were, first in and trying to get to 1K. They were one group of people that I was working with every week. And then I had my 1K people who were trying to go to 2K. So they're all on that journey. And then I had my 2Kers above, and they're on a different journey. Now, you might find you have someone come in and they're coming in from day 1, they want to be beyond 2K. You put them into all 3 groups because that's the steps they're going to need in order to get there. So for you as a leader, you have 3 training groups. You have your new ones, you have your Now we're moving from 1 to 2, and then you have your absolute builders that want to have different conversations and have different input. And I'm really happy to support in any of those, setting up those trainings. So as you can see throughout your month as a leader, you're very clearly setting out what you're doing each and every week and what your team are expected to slot into. Now, the danger is we go down the road of saying, oh yeah, I can do an onboarding training on this day. No, you can't make it. All right, okay, I'll do it that day. And then you end up doing one every day. That's not the point of it. The point is, this is how we do it. So if you're always giving choice, you've got 2 of everything. And it might not be 2 of everything where you haven't got enough people at the moment. It might be Derek's got one a month and Elaine's got one a month, or Coleman's got one a month. So you've got choice within your leadership team that people can slot into. But it's really important that you build out your framework of what your month looks like, when your trainings are going to be, but also make note of when other people's trainings are as well. So that launch event, now, for example, you could have at that launch event, they could be saying, well, with the use of Zoom, actually, it's very easy to get more than 30 people on a call, but they might be saying, I want to do, I've got a load of people who couldn't come this week. Let's book one in next week as well. You want to encourage these kinds of events because it's the best leverage of their time and your time that you can possibly have. When we say to people, oh, go out and talk to 10 people about the business, and that will really help and you'll get people on board, that is a very slow process. When you're doing it all together and on Zoom and face to face, it's really good use of your time. So this is going to give training confidence to that new partner. It also gives you an opportunity to invite anybody that you're talking to at the same time, because you've always got an event that you can invite them to, which is brilliant. So that's sorted out your prospecting. You don't need to put anything else in place because you've got events every week that you invite your people into. You're also going to be inviting in new partners to observe, to train as well. So this is a really good leverage of everyone's time doing these launch events. You're also, another thing that I found over the years is that where I've done these kinds of events, I've actually identified people and started to build a relationship with the new partners, contacts, friends, family. It's given me direct access to them. And sometimes what I found is by doing that is I've picked up people that are way better than the original partner. And I've then got that conduit to talk to them and pick up. And also when you're in that situation with that new partner and you identify some absolute diamond in the room, what you do is you pick up that diamond and you do the training with that new person that you've identified and the partner that you've already enrolled at the same time. And if one of them drops out, you've secured another one in that position. So you're always looking, I always look to these events as if they're my events. I'm always looking to see where are these people that are going to be potential stars of the future as well. Because over time, we know that people drop out. People, you're never going to retain everyone, and you want to shore up those connections and those contacts in those legs for you. So again, we are then checking with our new partners that they have indeed enrolled with the customer Facebook groups. We want all of their people now to be invited. And this again, on that Zoom presentation, you tell them about the customer group where they're going to get more information and more testimonials, and you want to empower people to do that. And you also want to be looking at growing a much wider pool for prospecting, because their prospecting pool is your prospecting pool, because it's all your team. And the more you can have in that prospecting team, the more opportunity you've got to scale up much more quickly. I would then be looking to set up your own community and setting up your own monthly team meeting to share ideas, success stories, testimonials, recognition, product information, and to build that community, to really start working on building your tribe, building on your company, your ethos, your core values of your business, and getting people to interact and to know that they're supported. That really takes the pressure off of you as well, because you'll always find people in your team that have got different experiences, different strengths, different weaknesses. And this is how you can empower people in your team to come to the fore and say, right, you know, our true sports person is definitely David. You're the one who's on a mission with that. You're going to be our expert on that every week. And Natural Glow is Sue. She's fantastic. She's talking to all the salons. And True Hydration, because they're into all the fitness classes and everything for the over 50s and the aging market. That's going to be Dominic. He's our expert there. And you're empowering people, but you're taking the pressure off of you having to know all of this stuff and to be good at all of this stuff. So that again is leveraging your time and leveraging your team. So I hope that has been a useful onboarding process and something that you can look to implement with your team. And of course, if anybody wants any help in putting this together or setting this up in a slightly different way, then please feel free to get in contact with me.